Walk up in the spot, they be like, whoa. In the spot, they be like, whoa. Walk up in the spot, they be like, whoa.
Ready?
When you are.
Said it's up, it's on the floor. He claimed that he faithful, he up. Every time I pop out, they be screaming out like, whoa.
What does it mean to be great? Often in life, we only have a handful of opportunities, a couple of moments in life to actually prove ourselves at the highest level. Over the next couple of months, we'll be joining the Kayalako team, Bill and Ali, two young entrepreneurs undertaking their biggest project yet. At this level, they're yet to prove themselves. So over the next couple of months, we'll be sharing their story with you guys. We'll also be meeting them today as they are young, two entrepreneurs trying to put themselves at the top of the contracting business. We're so excited to be following their journey and sharing that journey with you guys. If you are looking to sort of introduce yourself into the contracting world, if you are a contractor, this is the type of content which will shed a light on that journey. We're so excited to be joining their journey and showing you guys exactly what happens. We'll be pulling open the curtains and you'll see exactly the business, the highs as well as the lows of this business. I'm so excited for this one. As always, press that subscribe button. The next 9 months is going to be magical. Let's prop in.
By the way, I've already been rolling, so we are in Waterfall Country Estate.
Yeah.
Alright, so why are we here?
So we're here today for a special project. It's a special project for us and a special project for our client. So our client is an investor from Mozambique.
Yeah.
He is someone who is going to be building multiple buildings for rent out. So it's not even a personal home. What's unique about this particular location is that nobody owns the land, funny enough.
Oh yeah?
So Waterfall Estate is one of those estates where they've subdivided onto multiple stands, average size being about 1,000 square meters. There are bigger ones, but essentially you sign a 100-year lease. You don't own the land, you sign a 100-year lease. So your lease could be something around 25,000 rand a month. I mean, essentially a month.
Yeah.
And you're paying that to basically have your house on this land.
The project that we're looking at today,
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to go through it in detail throughout this whole journey, but can you give us a bit more understanding about what you guys are going to be building?
We are building essentially a 600 square meter residence, total of, you could say 4 bed, 4 bath, but we're going to say 5 bed, given the maid's quarters. 2 lounges, an infinity pool, double garage with obviously more parking space for guests. You could say triple garage.
Yeah.
You know, all the amenities that I think you would desire for, you know, a home worth over 8 million rand.
Yeah.
So the home itself has been designed by Vedur Architects. They're local architects. They've done a few homes here in the estate, so quite reputable. And then we are coming in as the contractors. So essentially what we do, we handle the contract.
Yeah.
We are the guys that put the teams together. We put all the legalities together regarding all the work, the craftsmen, because this is a piece of art, you know.
Yeah.
We're really dealing with a sculpture, so there's a few professionals that need to be put together. So we're those guys, we're the contractors.
Yeah.
This is now, I think, might be our 9th project of this magnitude.
Yeah.
And we're very excited. Very excited.
Bill, nice to finally meet you, my man.
It's amazing to meet you, man.
I think from the stuff that I've seen on social media, from the stuff which you've shared with me, I've been massively impressed by, firstly, your product and also the journey that you guys have been on. And I've already given people sort of an introduction to what's happening today, but tell us a little bit about this project before we get into the actual plans.
First of all, thanks for pulling up. Really appreciate your level of craftsmanship and the filming aspect as well.
For sure.
Yeah, so right here we in Waterfall Estate, one of the premium estates here in Johannesburg. It's an honor for us to be here because they really don't let other contractors come through. But given our resume, they're like, let's give these guys a shot. And you know, our mentality is that you give us a shot, we're gonna swing at it. So right here today, we are dealing with a 600 square meter home that we're just kicking off, getting the foundations going, clearing out the site, what we call site establishment. And yeah, look forward to taking you through the plans so you understand the project a bit more.
Let's jump into it, man. Let's have a look at the plans, because I think a lot of people, this is something that they want done for themselves. This is something that people speak about, architectural plans, and just seeing this and also seeing what's going to happen in about 9 months' time, I find that's where the magic is. So
Absolutely.
Before we even get into the actual specs of this property, speak to us about the process of even getting to this. When someone comes to you and approaches you and says, Bill, listen, we're thinking about building a home, we want 5 bedrooms, 6 that, etc. Can you please get plans for us? What are the steps that lead up to this moment right here?
Okay, so a lot of people will be surprised. It can take years for you to get your plans approved. It's really not a quick process against popular belief. So when you are trying to get a house built, you need to go through a professional architect.
Okay.
And these architects, it's not just your guys from Instagram. Please do not just accept any DMs. These people have to be registered underneath the South African Council of Architectural Professions, better known as SACAP. And this is the body that regulates all skilled professions, whether you're an architectural technologist, whether you are a professional architect, whether you got a doctorate in architecture. So whoever it may be, they usually have a licensed number attached to their name. So when it comes to you selecting an architect, it's important to look for architects who have the similar style that you're looking for, because not all architects are the same, just like not all clothing designers are the same. So on this particular project, we're working with Verdure Architects, very renowned. They've done quite a few projects here. And in terms of the steps that a person, a client who's looking to come get plans done, we take them through conceptual phase. So that's just getting, ideas, and luckily in 2024 we've got AI, so it's quite quick to actually get concepts done. But when it comes to design development, that's where you need architects, because they go through a rigorous process with your plans to see how they can put your ideas together in a way and in a manner that can be approved technically by numerous professionals. We're talking about fire experts, health and safety experts, engineers, structural and civil, soil tests. Your building really goes through a robust system of testing, even solar, to see how well this building will perform in winter versus summer. So these are the things that make the process quite lengthy. However, you can be confident that once it's gone through that process, what we're putting up is going to succeed in the test of time, in the test of weather, in the test of beauty.
For sure. And that just speaks to the craftsmanship that you guys are focused on the final product, as well as the actual client experience. So just going into the actual structure and looking at it, I'm seeing 4 bedrooms. Am I correct? 2 floors, 4 bedrooms. What are we looking at here?
All right, yes, so you are correct. There are two levels in this particular home, 4 bedrooms. And we've also included a domestic room, which could be counted as a 5th bedroom, all en suite. Which is a feature which I think most modern households, everyone wants an ensuite bathroom, making it easy and accessible, not having to leave your room. So the spaces are very modern spaces. We've got open plan lounge. We've got 2 lounges. In fact, we've got one downstairs, one upstairs, which is pajama lounge. And yeah, this I'd say is pretty much the benchmark to luxury homes, not only in this estate, but most of what you see in South Africa.
And this is you guys' to date, one of you guys' biggest projects to date. How does that make you feel? And from a personal achievements perspective, but also just going into it, a bit of nerves, a bit of excitement. How are you feeling at this moment?
No, absolutely. Very proud of my team, very proud of myself as well. Sometimes you got to give yourself a bit of a pat on the back. Come very far in this journey. So to get to a place where, we're now dealing with, good 7-figure project such as this one, it gives us confidence and hope in our dreams, because as I mentioned earlier, we've got very big aspirations, and sometimes when you're starting with a small project like installing a door and you're only making a 4-figure profit on that, it kind of makes you feel like, how long until I get to the big deals? So we're very proud to be at this point. My team has changed and evolved over the years. There are a few people that are still with me. Just know that if you still work with me today, you're a good person, because I only keep the good, very skilled people with me. I never let them go. Once you get a skilled tiler who shows up on time, who uses the right amount of material, who saves you when you need to, that's the type of person that you need to keep close together. So I'm very proud of my team, and I think I've got probably the best team to build this house.
Awesome, man. I'm keen to get on site and see what's actually happening. Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, as we enter into the site, I think this, it's very hard seeing this and also seeing the renders of what the final product is gonna look like. But talk to us about what's currently happening on the site and what's been happening for the last couple of weeks as we walk towards those tractors there.
Okay, so what we've got going on here is what we call site establishment. So before we are permitted to start digging within the ground, foundations as we call them, we have to make sure that we've prepared the site, fenced it off, put down our tool sheds, put down some toilets. It's just the essentials that we need for the estate to find or deem it an acceptable and a presentable construction project. And today, so we've gotten the thumbs up from the estate, and we are basically leveling the land, because we are on a sloped piece of land, which can be challenging. With slopes means that you've got a lot of steps in your house, which the client didn't want. They wanted everything on one level.
Okay.
So what we're required to do here is just to level from the top, take out soil. So that's why you see this truck here. It's going to take the soil out of the estate, and the soil at the bottom is going to level up and then give us a good datum level.
Nice.
So that's going to be going on for the next 48 hours, and after that, all action.
So after this process of almost leveling out the entire site, is that when you're going to start sort of the trench work, starting to excavate trenches, foundation work? Is that what's happening next?
Exactly. So when it comes to the trench work, very simple. Our trenches are standard. The only part of the trenching that now involves the engineer is where we've got our reinforcement. So the foundation, I know a lot of people are just used to concrete being poured in the hole and they let it set, but we need stronger foundations. These type of homes need to stand the test of time. A lot of money going into this. So we've got engineers who will detail the foundation. Architects are not allowed to detail. Contractors cannot detail. We can advise, but we cannot detail. So the engineer is going to be detailing the foundation, the type of wiring, stirrups, spacing of the stirrups, and the reinforcements in between that. Usually we're working with Y10s, Y12 sized steel rebars, diameter rebars, and so that might take maybe 48 hours to approve from the engineer side, but right after, pour the concrete, and this is pre-mixed concrete. We do not foreshadow. We don't foreshadow that. We use pre-mix, which gives us the consistency in terms of the concrete, the standard of the concrete, and the strength of the concrete.
And I can imagine looking at this now, 1,000 square meters. How long are we looking at being on site? How long is it going to take from today up until you have a finished product that someone is ready to move in?
All right. So generally, superstructure for us, it's our strength. We can hammer out a 500 square meter house in 6 months. Okay. Superstructure. But on this particular project, we've given ourselves 9 months. The main reason is just certain details that we have. There's a lot of concrete in the roof, so we've got a mixture of IBR and concrete. Okay. So when you have slabs, it's important to let the slabs set.
Give it enough time.
Give it enough time to set. So in our particular case, if we're using ribbon block slabs, generally you need to leave 21 days for that to set. And given the time that we're starting now, which is October, also consider the fact that December is a half month for the construction industry. So we close like between the 12th and the 15th. So with those factors calculated, we're looking at 9 months between now. It's like a baby.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we're looking at 9 months between now and the time that will be finished. And then there's a stage called finishes, which can take as long as a year sometimes, because this is where clients are a lot more pedantic. This is where clients are a lot more involved, where they understand, oh, okay, that's a tap.
Yeah.
So I want the tap from Tivoli, Italy, directly. So that process can be quick if the client has already worked with a good interior decorator and designer, as well as someone who's done finish a schedule. Because then we know exactly what we're buying, how much of it we're buying, and the labor that it's going to take to install. So yeah, we're giving this an overall 12 months. So next year, this time, we're looking at the client moving in. We call that process handover.
And just speaking about amounts on a project like this, if a client wanted to do your standard 4-bedroom, 600 square meters under roof, what's the overall cost of things like this looks like nowadays? Especially, I think it's well known when construction costs are so high nowadays.
Yeah, so the construction costs generally, when they move with economic fluctuations, because we're looking at fuel prices. To fill up a truck can cost as high as $5,000. Understand? So whenever the fuel prices go up, it increases transporting material to sites, labor increases, people want higher wages. But what we've done is we've kept a tight-knit team, right? And when you do so, you're able to regulate the amount of work that's coming in. So if you're looking at a house like this, in an estate like this, you're looking at luxury builds, which are normally between 10,000 rand per square meter, all the way up to 15,000 rand for ultra luxury home. And it can go as high as 20,000 rand per square meter. If you're bold and willing enough as a client to do something which is above the norms. So in this particular build, we're looking at between 10 to 12,000 rand per square meter. Your regular homes, middle income homes, can stretch anywhere from 6,000 rand to 8,000 rand per square meter. And so for us as contractors, we try to be as competitive as possible and as profitable as possible at the same time.
Nice, man. And I think just drawing everything to a close. So if you guys are watching this, we're going to be documenting this entire process from the inception of this project all the way till handover, and we're so excited. Thank you so much for having us join your guys' journey, and throughout this process we're going to be documenting the highs. I'm sure there's also lows which we'll be documenting. I'm so excited to be joining you guys on this journey.
It's an absolute pleasure, man. It's an absolute pleasure.
And then on this site, on this project, you're currently the site manager.
Yes, I'm the site manager. And Thomas, that one, the one gonna be is my builder. Yes.
And what does being a site manager, what do you do? Like, what's your role?
Make sure everything is on site, working proper, like all material on site, like already I'm organizing the trucks and the tailgate is me. So everything I must control everything on site.
So basically, you're the big man on site.
Exactly.
So if anything goes wrong on site,
it's my fault.
A lot of the times the site manager.
Yeah, everything is in my hand. So make sure everything must go according to the site. If the state you got a problem, be calling me.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's a lot of responsibility.
Exactly.
How long have you been doing it?
No, long time. I'm building over 30 years.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow. So
over 30 years. Sure. Inside in the state, I'm building more than 10 houses.
10 houses?
Yeah, more than 10 houses. I got another one I'm finishing right now. So it's finished, you just do the finishing.
So basically, over these last 30 years and also 10 houses here, you probably know everything from A to Z.
Exactly. I'm be Cape Town, I'm be everywhere. And around Joburg and outside Joburg.
What's the biggest problems that you find on sites? A big problem that normally happens?
No, the problem is sometimes you get the owner. Because sometimes the owner is not honest. So sometimes if it's like a financial problem, Because if you pay, the job is gonna run.
Yeah.
If you no money, the job is gonna stop. So you're working like that. Because there's sometimes the owner gonna promise you, I got the money, start the project, put the money, say I'm gonna put the money next week and next week. So once it's starting, you get in the like excuses, something like that.
Yeah,
Everything you
excuses,
can stop it.
So basically, a lot of the time on projects, the client and the owner is the biggest problem. From a
So all the
financial-
time, if you do the project like that, you need me and the owner and Kayalako every meeting every second week or every week. One day or Wednesday, Thursday, you have a meeting to see the project, what's going, everything's go right, everything is okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's most important to communicate together.
Keep communicating.
Everyone is in the same page.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. man.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm Bill Siziba. I am the lead project manager, founder of Kayalako Properties. We're here today at one of our biggest projects that we've done to date here in Waterfall City. I'm very excited to show you guys the journey. Let me tell you a little bit about my background. So I'm originally from Zimbabwe, Bulawayo to be specific. My parents moved down here when I was around 3 years old, and I developed a passion for drawing at the age of 9 years old. My uncle actually taught me how to draw, and I became so obsessed with this thing because I wasn't particularly good at anything else. I wasn't athletic, or I wasn't really the smartest kid in school, but I could draw, and I drew for another 9 years. So when I was 18, I then had to decide, okay, what am I going to do with my life? And for obvious reasons, I didn't want to become an artist because I knew I was going to be broke for most of my career. And a good friend of mine, Grandfellow Smith, he was actually one of the top students in my high school. You know, I used to always hang out, or at least keep acquaintance with the smartest kids because I knew, you know, exam time, you're straight. So he taught me about something called architecture because I wanted to be a civil engineer at the time, but my maths wasn't there. So Grandfellow Smith told me about this thing called architecture, and he's like, no, look, you're mixing math, a bit of science, and your artistic ability into this one profession. So I listened to him and I took it on the following year. Spent 6 years studying architecture at Nelson Mandela University down in the Eastern Cape. So his Xhosa Sam got a little bit polished around that time. I came back to Joburg, worked for a couple of years, and took a bash at business. Now, business was a whole nother world, as you can imagine, because now I'm not just a skilled professional, but I'm also running a business. So a lot of lessons along the way, but all those lessons have led to this point now, and we can't wait to show you guys the product that we come with on this site.
Hi guys, I'm Ali, Mohammed Tamim Ali to be precise. I'm a mechanical engineer by profession, but I'm actually an entrepreneur. Life made me one. I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa, born and raised. I was always into vehicles. That's my passion and hobby. Keeps you away from drugs, so keep that in mind. I also have some sort of civil engineering background, which led to me and Billy meeting up through a deal that we done on a car, vehicles actually. So we swapped, and we then saw that he learns a lot of car stuff from me and I learn a lot of property stuff from him, and that's how we collaborated and came to this stage where now we have partnered up, and I am now the Vice President of Kayalako Properties. So if you can't get hold of Billy, which is never gonna happen, not really the case, but yeah, I'm the next person you contact. And outside of that, grew up in Johannesburg all my life, have a few businesses, run logistics on the side, we run some convenience stores across Johannesburg and the east side of it. We now want to do something collaborated in terms of vehicles and properties where we sell packages to clients like yourself, where you want a Porsche and a Harley Davidson, or Ferrari and a Ducati, for instance, with your property, we will give you that, combined with a house where you're living the life at its utmost highest.
La vida loca. Our goals are as big as our imagination. I see Kayalako building homes for some of the top people in their industry. So looking at Grammy Award winners like Burna Boy, you know, shout out if you're watching this, Burna, hit me up. Tyler, hit me up. We wanna do massive homes, you know, crazy details. Very skilled with detailing homes. So, you know, I'm always looking for the type of clients to challenge my skill sets, as well as, you know, push the mark in terms of international standards in design.
Final question. Talk to us about your first project, and specifically go into the scale and actual numbers of your first project compared to some of your latest projects.
Ooh, all right. So our first ever project, it wasn't actually a house. This was just the installation of sliding doors. And I took it very seriously. You know, this was the first person to ever call me up off social media, say, hey, look, I saw you on social media, come through, I want you to install my sliding doors. I was just excited. I knew this was an opportunity for me to showcase my abilities, even though it was just installations of sliding doors. Did a very good job, client loved it, referred me to more clients, and that's how the snowball effect started. So we went from making 4,000 Rand on our first ever gig, down to making about 30,000 Rand in profit from doing architectural plans. And it leaped from just making 5 figures to very quickly 7 figures. And that came with its own challenges from a personal perspective, as well as a business perspective, because you know, if you're coming from a background where you're not really handling those kind of figures, you know, figure that you need to step your knowledge up, you need to step up your psychology. So over time, that's what we've done, and we've now arrived to a point where we're able to handle a lot of these deals in principle. It's a contractor at the end of the day, and being a contractor is exactly as the word sounds. You are handling a contract, you are managing a lot of people, you are managing the expectations of a client. So that's what we do very well. That's why clients come to us. So the difference between our first project and now is competency, and I'm very proud of my team. I'm very proud of everybody who's been on our journey to get us to this point.
And Ali, I think before we're speaking about people when they're wanting to be contractors, you want to start with those 6-figure, 7-figure projects. For those people who are looking to go into contracting, what do you say
to the young entrepreneurs like myself or us, for instance? It's always important to look at consistency instead of volumes. Consistency is what matters. It's what will get you far in life. Till today, we don't mind taking on those 4,000 Rand, 5,000 Rand jobs, because you know why? We have a passion for it, and we would like to show people what we can do through our mindset and skills. Those 50 million deals will come through, but you need to start somewhere first. You need to have some sort of base and grounds to be able to handle that type of pressure. So don't rush it, everything will happen. Pray, that's very important. Pray about everything, and God will definitely show you the way. Cheers, guys.